Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Customer Ed Nuggets podcast series. I'm independent learning tech analyst John Lay of Talented Learning, hosting today's show with a special guest host, customer education and marketing expert Samantha Murray. Sam is the global director of go-to-market at Docebo LMS, the world's fastest growing learning management solution and a very popular customer education LMS. Today, Sam and I are going to talk about lessons, ideas, best practices, customer education professionals can learn from marketing professionals. Sam, great to have you here. You're the perfect guest for this important topic.
Thanks so much for having me, John.
All right. Listeners and viewers, thank you for tuning in and your interest to learn more about all things customer education, from business case to LMS, online content, marketing, community building, measurement, and much, much more in 10-minute video nuggets or less. You'll feed or binge. All the way back in 2014, when I wrote my very first article about customer education at Talented Learning, I coined the term instructional marketer as an appropriate name for a customer education or extended enterprise professional. Why? Well, with employee education, for example, training departments have an advantage. They can say to their employee students, take this training or you're fired. Because of that, they can skimp on UI, learner experience, communication, messaging, and much more. The focus is on content with L&D pros. Having a stick to make learners consume that content is very convenient. But in customer education, all the learners are voluntary learners. You can't force them to come to your site, buy your product, consume your content, pay for content, and come back over and over again. You have to entice them. You have to make them want to come. That want is where marketing pros come into the equation. They've been dealing with making people want to do things for decades, maybe centuries or more. The marketing skill set is formalized, evolving rapidly, taught inside and outside of universities, and is highly scientific and measurable. It's not a skill set, though, that most L&D folks have. Worse yet, many L&D folks don't know what they don't know about marketing, making it a very dangerous blind spot. Hence the purpose of this Customer Ed Nugget. Sam and I wanted to highlight some key concepts in marketing that all customer education and learning development pros, at worst, need to be aware of, and at best need to know and implement to increase overall success of a customer education program. All right, let's get going. So, Sam, with that context and your extensive marketing and customer education background, I'm going to let you go first. Plus, you're the guest. What is the most important thing customer ed and L&D professionals can learn from marketing?
First things first, personalization. And I know this is a huge buzzword in the L&D industry, particularly in customer education. What does that mean? We want to deliver the right content at the right place at the right time, right? But how do we actually do that? It's complicated. It's complex to try to do this. So in marketing, the first thing that we always do is try to understand the audience, right? You need to try to understand your learners and the learner journey so that you can ensure that you're offering up content that's actually going to resonate with them, depending on where they're at on the journey with your particular brand, with your product, whatever it may be. This may look like market research. So you're looking at their needs, you're looking at learning preferences, you're looking at their behaviors, et cetera. And all of this can be really helpful in developing a learner persona, right? So the same way that we would on the marketing side when we're creating an ICP or a buyer persona, you can go through the same process and actually create a learner persona for the different learners that you're serving. Another big one is product usage or product telemetry, product usage data, right? So much information contained in how your customers are using your product today to help inform the way in which you personalize that content. You want to make sure that you are, meeting their needs at the particular moment in time that they are facing some sort of challenge. We do that in the marketing world, right? If someone is on the website and they're trying to just book a demo, you want to make that as easy as possible to get from point A to point B. Same thing can be said about the way in which you train your learners. And of course, you can do this in platform as well. Last but not least, the last thing I want to talk about is the customer journey itself. So where are your learners at? Are they exploring your platform as a potential prospect buyer? Are they through implementation? Did they just renew? All of these critical moments in time offer up an opportunity for you to actually really hone in on the message that you want to drive at that particular moment. Are you trying to get them to adopt a new product? Are you trying to unblock them if they're having a challenge, right? High support tickets. Think about the KPI that you're trying to drive. Think about where the learner is at on their customer journey. And then you got to try to craft a message that's going to resonate along that journey.
Wow. Well,
What do
thanks,
you think?
Sam. That is certainly that's certainly different than what a typical L&D person is worrying about on a day-to-day basis, but is what they need to be. As I listen to that, I just can't help but think that my choice for number two is really that it has to be data-driven decision making. And there's a famous quote by a retail manager here in Pennsylvania, all the way back from the late 1800s, John Wanamaker, and he paraphrased as saying, "Half my marketing budget is wasted. The trouble is, I just don't know what half." And so marketers have struggled with that problem for decades, for a century, maybe more centuries, but certainly throughout the 2000s when CRM and marketing technology in general was developed, we were able to start tracking everything about potential customers and customers, their habits, what they're doing in your website, interacting with your organization in general. And with Google Analytics, we were able to see where they were coming from, what devices, off of what keywords, and it gave all kinds of data and power so that marketing organizations could make their next decision where to invest their money based on science, based on real data. And so what marketers do is they're constantly evaluating what they're spending, how it's working, tracking that, measuring that, making course improvements, and going on. And that's the same thing that we, as learning and development professionals, need to do. We certainly do it over the decades, but what we lacked was that data. And now, with the data and customer education that's available, we have no excuse other than using that to be strategic, very strategic in every choice that we make for customer education. And with that, number three, Sam, what is it?
Could not agree more with everything you just said. And I think I'll elaborate for my third one, which is
All right.
adopting an experimental mindset for continuous improvement. So, what this looks like in practice, as marketers, we do this all the time, right? We formulate a hypothesis about the thing that we're trying to accomplish, the particular KPI that we want to impact on. Are we trying to generate leads? Are we trying to, improve deal velocity? Whatever it may be, you're always starting from a hypothesis first. And so, I think L&D practitioners and customer ed practitioners can adopt a similar mindset by formulating a hypothesis around what is it that you want to try to impact on, right? Going back to what we were just talking about around that market research and understanding your learner and understanding their needs and the customer journey. What are you actually trying to impact on at any particular moment? Are you trying to reduce a support ticket? You have high volumes in a particular area. Are you attempting to drive up product adoption? Are you trying to save a particular customer, right? Define the learning objectives then tied to that KPI. So that's step number two after you formulate the hypothesis is define the learning objectives that you want to teach to that particular audience entirely tied to the KPI that you want to be able to impact on. And then I think one thing that we get caught up on in L&D is going straight for the full course, right? Big, meaty course. We want to teach all the things. We're subject matter experts, so we want to share all this knowledge. And that really can be to the detriment of the program, especially when you're trying to adopt this experimental mindset. So first things first, micro content webinar, test the theory. Is it going to work? Is it resonating? Are people interested in that particular topic? Did it achieve the results that you expected, even if you were just testing at the micro level? And then go off and build the full-fledged course, the full piece of content once you've validated that it's actually headed in the right direction.
All right, Sam. Great points. Thank you. And there you have it, folks. Segmentation and customer journey, data driven decision making process, and experimentation and feedback loop are our favorite concepts from marketing that we recommend all customer ed professionals become familiar with. I want to offer a special thanks to our guest expert, Samantha Murray from Docebo. Samantha, thanks for being here. It was a pleasure to have you here. You can find more about Docebo at docebo.com or in the talentedlearning.com learning system directory. Listeners and watchers, thanks for tuning in to another episode. If you want to listen to our customer ed nuggets on the go, subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Android, Spotify, and more. Links provided in the description. If you enjoyed today's episode, please share and like to show your support and to help spread the word to other customer education professionals. Thank you, and we hope to see you on the next installment. Have a great day, everyone.